All right, let's dive into the Cullen family from Stephenie Meyer's Twilight. Vampires, right. But even if you haven't read the books or seen the movies, I think the themes of family and identity are pretty relatable.
Yeah, and what's interesting is the Cullens aren't like typical vampires.
Right. Like hiding in the dark.
They actually formed this family.
Yeah, a family.
Carlyle's vision was for a more humane way to exist.
A humane vampire family. So, like, how does that even work? Don't they
Yeah.
still have that thirst?
They do, but Carlyle's leadership really changes things.
Okay.
He believes they can choose compassion over their urges.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Interesting.
he could have been this powerful, scary vampire,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
but he chose to build a family based on empathy.
And self-control.
Yeah, it's kind of radical in the vampire world, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. Like going against everything we think about vampires.
Right.
So it's almost like he's rebelling against vampire lore to create his own rules.
Exactly.
But what about Esme? Where does she fit in?
Esme, she's like the heart.
The heart of it all,
Yeah, she provides that warmth and stability.
to make it a home.
Exactly, like a real home.
Yeah.
Together, they really show what a chosen family is.
Chosen family.
Not by blood, but by values and genuine care.
But I imagine things aren't always perfect.
Oh, of course not.
Even in a vampire family.
I have personalities, different desires.
Yeah, totally.
So how do they balance that with their loyalty to the family?
Good question. Good question.
It gets really interesting because each member is complex, but they're still committed.
Okay.
Take Edward, for instance.
Yeah.
His love for Bella, a human, really challenges his vampire side
Oh, absolutely.
and puts the family at risk.
For sure.
It's this constant pull between what he wants and his loyalty.
Yeah, you see that a lot, that back and forth.
Definitely.
His relationship with Bella adds another layer of complexity to the whole family dynamic.
Right. A
Yeah.
huge layer.
But I mean, Edward's not the only one who kind of pushes those boundaries.
Right. Not at all. Look at Alice
Yeah.
with her visions.
Right. She can see the future
She's incredibly loyal
to her family.
to her family, but she uses her gift in a proactive way.
It's not just about following the rules blindly, is it?
No.
It's about using what makes you special
Right.
to benefit everyone.
It shows how individual strength can help the family.
Okay, so individuality is good.
Yeah.
But what about Rosalie? She seems to really dislike being a vampire.
Oh, Rosalie, she's interesting.
Yeah, how does she fit in?
Well, she wants that human life back.
Makes sense.
Struggles with her vampire existence, you know?
Sure.
Her loyalty, though, it
Yeah.
comes out as being very protective
Uh-huh.
and also brutally honest sometimes.
Yeah.
She challenges the romantic idea of being a vampire, adds another layer of complexity.
It's like she's the one who constantly reminds everyone of the price they've paid.
Exactly.
But they're still vampires
Right.
at the end of the day.
Yes.
So how do they balance that with wanting human connection,
That duality.
especially with Edward and Bella? That throws a wrench in things.
It's at the core of everything.
Yeah.
They're always trying to hold on to those pieces of humanity.
Interesting.
Edward is so drawn to Bella, but terrified of his instincts.
He doesn't want to hurt her.
He doesn't want to hurt her. Exactly.
And Bella, she's choosing this,
She is.
knowing what she's giving up
She wants to belong
with him.
with him and the Cullens.
That's powerful.
Yeah, it shows how much we want connection.
Even if we have to change who we are,
Exactly.
Bella's choice to become a vampire really highlights the power of love.
And the sacrifices we make.
But how does she actually handle all this?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that more as we continue.
Okay, looking forward to it.
It's not just a physical change for Bella.
Yeah.
It's her whole identity that shifts.
Right.
Before, she's like an outsider looking in.
Drawn to their world, but not really in it.
Exactly. And the change doesn't happen overnight.
Of course not.
She really struggles with what it means to be immortal.
To live forever.
Yeah. And losing her human connections, all the unknowns.
Yeah, that's scary.
But wanting to belong, that connection with Edward and the Cullens,
He's more powerful.
it outweighs the fear. So it's a choice.
Not just giving in to Edward's world.
It is a choice. Her journey shows us that
About joining a family?
even one as unusual as this,
Right.
it has sacrifices and rewards.
You get this incredible bond.
Yeah.
Like nothing you felt before.
But it cost her her human life.
Wow.
It shows you how much we want to connect.
Even if we have to change.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not always about shared blood,
Right.
but those experiences
Yeah.
and that willingness to evolve together.
To evolve. And they're a pretty unique family to evolve with.
That's for sure.
They're this paradox, predators trying to be peaceful.
Hmm.
It goes against their nature.
That's interesting.
That tension is what makes it so captivating.
Yeah, they're always pushing against their limits,
Right.
challenging that image of vampires as monsters.
They choose to be individuals within the family structure.
So they're always negotiating their own desires with their loyalty to the group.
And through that, they define what it means to be a Cullen.
They redefine what it means to be a family, to
Hmm.
be a vampire.
Right. And to be human.
It's like they're rewriting the rules.
Definitely.
And Edward and Bella, they're at the heart of this whole story.
Absolutely. Their love story is a microcosm of all the big themes.
Family, loyalty, identity.
Exactly. And it's woven through the entire Twilight world.
Edward choosing to love Bella.
A human.
Yeah, it shows he can grow and change
He defies his nature.
for something bigger.
Yeah, and Bella deciding to become a vampire, that says a lot about love.
They have an intense relationship,
Very intense.
full of passion and sacrifice, but also danger.
Lots of danger.
Edward's fighting his own demons,
Yeah.
worried he'll hurt her.
Or expose her to that dark side.
It's a lot.
It is. And Bella's giving up
Like
everything.
a whole human life.
Yeah, for this chance at forever.
Their struggles, facing the unknown together, that's a kind of love that goes beyond, a normal lifespan.
It's not your typical love story.
No, not at all. But they discover this love
Yeah,
that goes beyond time.
because they're willing to face it all together.
It's like a symbol of hope,
It is. It shows that human connection can endure anything.
even in these crazy circumstances.
And their story, it really sums up the whole saga.
About family and love.
That family can be found anywhere.
And love can overcome anything.
Mm-hmm.
So we've talked about the Cullens being this different kind of family.
Yeah.
Their own struggles and this incredible love story.
Right.
But what does it mean for us regular people?
That's the key question, isn't it?
Why should we care about these fictional vampires?
That's what's so interesting. The Cullens give us this insight into what it means to be human.
Even though they're vampires.
They deal with identity, belonging,
Finding meaning in the world.
and even though their circumstances are heightened,
Yeah, because they're
the
vampires.
struggles are like ours.
So underneath it all, they're relatable.
They are.
That's cool.
The Cullens show that family isn't always about blood.
It's more than that.
It's about shared experiences, accepting each other's flaws and strengths.
Even in darkness, there's light.
Yeah.
And love can win.
It's powerful and it goes beyond fiction.
Yeah.
We all have that capacity for both.
Darkness and light.
It's our choices that make us who we are.
Okay, so we've covered a lot about the Cullens.
We have.
Their family, their individual stories, and this huge love story at the center of it all.
Right.
But as we wrap things up, I'm still thinking about what we can take away from all this.
What we can learn.
Yeah, as regular humans,
Yeah.
what can we learn from a vampire story?
Well, it's amazing how much insight the Cullens offer
Yeah.
about the human experience,
Even though they're vampires,
right? They deal with identity, belonging,
trying to find meaning
in a world that's crazy and unpredictable, and their struggles.
are a lot like ours.
Exactly.
So even with the fangs and the
They're
immortality,
still relatable.
I like that.
The Cullens show that family can be found in unexpected places.
And that loyalty and individuality can exist together.
It can.
And that love can overcome anything.
That's at the core of it.
That it can go beyond these huge challenges. So they show us that even creatures of darkness can choose a different path.
They can choose compassion.
That's a big message.
It is.
Goes beyond just this story.
Yeah, it shows us we all have the capacity for both darkness and light.
And that it's our choices that really matter.
Our choices define us.
Okay, so as we wrap up our look at the Cullens,
Our deep dive.
yeah, our deep dive, let's leave our listeners with something to think about.
All right.
Imagine if you could join a family like the Cullens.
Okay.
They've got their own rules, challenges, but also complete loyalty and acceptance.
A unique family.
Would you do it?
That's a good question.
What would you be willing to give up?
To change about yourself to belong.
What parts of being human would you sacrifice?
The Cullens make us think about our values.
Yeah, what we really want,
And how far we'd go to find our place in the world.
it's definitely something to think about.
It is.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the Cullen family.
Thanks for having me.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep embracing the weird and wonderful things in life, even the supernatural stuff.